Woohoo! Woohoo! Hello everybody and welcome to Fa Rekin Licious. Today my special guest taste tester is Kenya Cooper, and she is a New York Times best-selling author of young adult and adult literature. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I go by the pen name K.N. Lee, and I write young adult and adult fantasy. Lots of dragons, pirates, magic. That's what I write, and I brought a few here with me today.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
My most popular one right now is called Half-Blood Dragon. If you like Game of Thrones or Pirates of the Caribbean,
I don't think most people have heard of Game of Thrones. I don't know, I just have never heard that
yeah,
name.
it's just a little indie project. So if you like something like that, this is the kind of book that that I write. Princesses and dragons. I also write a little bit of urban fantasy for a little bit older crowd. I have a series called The Chronicles of Koa.
Okay.
So if you like vampires, angels, and stuff like that, this is for you. Yeah.
Well, awesome.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you on the show today.
I'm glad to be here. Beautiful setup, and you look great.
Oh, thank you. So do you. Oh my God, we both had our hair done. She had her hair done today. Isn't it fabulous? Fabulous. So we're going to get started. So today we're making a healthy version of fish sticks. What that consists of is I like to do cod. Cod is a really good fish to make fish sticks out of. So I have already, I've got a pound of cod here, and I've already diced them up into fish stick cubes. So I'm just going to dump them on this plate right here.
That's perfect, because I have a 2.5-year-old at home. So this is something that I can make at home.
Oh, I know.
And he's a picky eater too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was so hoping that you'd bring them, but her children are so cute. They are just adorable.
Thank
I'll
you.
have pictures.
Thank you.
So cool. So what we're going to do with this is, Kenya, you don't do eggs, right? You're allergic to eggs.
I'm
Okay.
allergic to eggs.
So instead of eggs in this recipe, what we're going to do is we're going to do a combination of olive oil and lemon juice. And that's going to be the wet mixture that's going to bind to almond flour mixture that we're going to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with 1/4 cup of olive oil.
Get away. I went to Hawaii for a while to get away from the dreary weather.
It was.
Got a lot of writing done. I relaxed.
Yeah.
I went alone, so it was just, like a detox from life.
We're going to be using this again, and you know what I did? I made a big, huge mistake.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be our dry mixture bowl, and this is supposed to be our wet mixture bowl. So stay tuned. We're going to pour this in here. You know what? I don't have to mess up another fork, do I? Let's pour this in here. Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see how you do this without wheat flour.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yay! Get you to help me out here, if you don't mind.
Sure.
If you could measure out a cup of that almond flour.
Never used almond flour before.
Oh, I love almond flour. I make a paleo
It looks
pizza.
yummy.
I will be doing an episode coming up of my paleo pizza.
Just dump it in here?
Yeah, just dump it in there.
All right,
Yes, that's
there we
great.
go.
So I'm just whisking this up like that, the lemon juice and the olive oil. We've got a cup of almond flour, and then we're just going to add, I don't know, maybe a couple tablespoons.
Okay.
And this is, it's arrowroot. It's an all-natural cornstarch.
Cool.
So just a couple tablespoons of that, and then we're going to spice it up.
I like spice.
Me too. The hotter the better. And you know what? We actually, see, I did the, I wasn't sure if you were bringing the kids or not.
Right.
So I was like, well, we can make it a little spicier or not. If they were here, I wasn't gonna.
The funny thing is my son likes spicy.
Oh, you hear parents all the time talk about how their kids won't eat this and won't eat that. And I'm like, well, what do kids over in India eat?
Right.
They don't eat McDonald's. They eat Indian food. What do kids over countries eat? They eat their native food.
Right.
I'll tell you right now, when I was a kid, my parents, I hated vegetables. I hated green beans. My parents, made us eat them. They did give up on making us eat collard. Spit out my green beans and stuff.
Yeah.
And my daddy caught me one time. Stuffing it. I appreciate that now because I actually love vegetables now.
Yeah.
So now we're going to add some garlic powder. And just shake. And again, because her and I like flavor and spice, we're going to add a generous helping of garlic powder. And you want to put in some lemon pepper for me. That's dried lemon pepper. Cool. Just however much, girl.
Yeah.
Himalayan pink sea salt. So let's just get a little bit of that in there. And then a little bit of onion powder. And that's, like I said, we've got quite a bit of almond flour in there. So and then just a shake or two of cayenne. Now we're just gonna stir that up, and here's a dry fork,
Okay.
the one that's supposed to go with that bowl. You just mix that up for me.
You got it.
Yeah. And we might be adding some more spice.
I'm down.
All right, so now that we've got the flour mixture all mixed up, we're going to take our fish sticks, and one by one, we're just gonna kind of dip them in the wet mixture, and then we're going to put them in here and just very generously coat them. Coconut spray. Yeah, there we go. And by the way, the oven is preheated to 350. All right. So if you just want to put each little nugget there.
On the tray? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we got our fish sticks, we got them all breaded here, and we're just going to put them in the oven for about 10 minutes.
Place tray into oven for 15 minutes and then broil for an extra 2 minutes for crispier fish sticks.
Cooking time, but typically cod is like 10, 12 minutes,
Okay.
and it's good, and it's not overcooked. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make two different sauces. We're going to make a tartar sauce with Greek yogurt and my flavor explosion cocktail sauce. Like, people go nuts over. Like, oh my God, best cocktail sauce ever. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make a tartar sauce, okay? And again, it's made with Greek yogurt. So what we're going to do is, if you could measure out a half a cup of sauce and just put it in this bowl.
Okay.
All right.
I love Greek yogurt.
Yeah, it's so tangy, and it really does it. It's a great substitution in the place of sour cream or mayonnaise, and it adds nutritional value as well.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. It was probiotics, good for the gut. And then to that, what we're going to add is I've got about a tablespoon of very small, very tinily chopped red onions. We're going to add that to it. All right, and then we're going to add very tinily chopped red pepper. Yeah, and you're going to be like, wow, that's a stacked tartar sauce. I've never heard of a tartar sauce with red pepper, but trust me, this is going to be freaking incredible. And then we're going to add some, about a tablespoon of chives. All right. And then about a tablespoon of some very small chopped carrots. And what I did is I used shredded carrots, but then I chopped them up very tinily. Is that a word, tinily? Well, it's a Stephanie word. How about that? And then we're going to add about a teaspoon, of sweet pickled relish. So this is actually a half a teaspoon, so that's about a teaspoon. Even half teaspoon.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So then we're going to add some cracked black pepper, and this is actually a lemon pepper. Just a little bit of that, and a little bit of sea salt, Himalayan pink sea salt. All right, and then we're just going to mix that up. All right. I should have gotten a bigger bowl. Here, you want to mix that up, and what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to grate some lemon zest, because y'all know how much I love lemon zest. I love that pop of flavor.
I'm already loving this. I feel like I could eat this by itself.
So then we're just going to add the lemon zest to the tartar sauce here. Probably got some more up in there, and you can never have too much. Make sure you get the whole lemon.
Okay.
Again, it's just going to it's just going to provide so much flavor. Cut the lemon in half, and we're going to add the juice of half the lemon.
I need to get one of those.
Oh yeah, you can get them at the dollar store.
Really?
Yes. I think that's where I got this one, and I got this one. This one's a little larger because it's for oranges too, and I love oranges. Yum. Holy cow. Holy cow. So cool though. So that looks wonderful. We're going to put that to the side. And now we're going to make our cocktail sauce. We're going to start out with about a 1/4 cup of ketchup. Perfect. Yes. Then to that we're going to add about a teaspoon of capers. So this is a half teaspoon again. So I'm going to add another half teaspoon. Then, you like spice, I like spice. We're going to add a generous helping of horseradish. So I would say this is a half tablespoon.
Okay.
So good, about a half tablespoon. Let's get that in there. No, let's add a little bit more. There, then some Worcestershire.
Good stuff.
Ah, I guess I should have opened it. So what's the most favorite book that you've ever written?
Personally, Rise of the Flame.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my that was actually my first book that I wrote. I wrote it when I was 11.
Oh.
And
Always had this talent.
I've always written since like 2nd grade. I was writing books. But Rise of the Flame, I wrote the first draft when I was 11 on my mom's typewriter. I held on to it until I got the courage to let anyone read it, which was like in my 20s. The most personal one to me.
Right.
The main character Lyle, there's a lot of me in her.
So, like, what was the book that got published the New York Times?
So, the first one was Netherworld.
Okay.
It was in the Magic and Mayhem box set.
Okay.
Last summer, and then another time it was Goddess of War in the Dark Humanity box set.
Oh. So where do you feel like all this, passion for sharing that voice comes from?
I think that, growing up, I was kind of a loner. I was really shy.
Right.
So I kind of retreated to books.
Okay.
I decided to write the kind of stories that I wanted to read,
Right, absolutely,
So,
from your heart.
Yeah, that's where that comes from. And I have very vivid dreams.
Ooh.
And a lot of my stories come from dreams. Like the
Okay.
Netherworld book, that first chapter was a dream I had. Rise of the Flame, there was this beautiful redhead girl in my dreams for years, and that's who Lily is. I always loved dragons and magic and stuff like that, mermaids.
I think the fish sticks are done.
Oh,
We'll
great.
check them out. So I'm putting the fish sticks back in for about another 4 minutes, just so that outer layer can get a little bit crispier, and the fish could cook just a little bit more. So to the cocktail sauce, I added a little bit of Worcestershire. I just kind of eyeballed that, and as well I added the juice of half a lemon. Yeah. There you go.
That's amazing.
Cool. Awesome.
Ooh.
I'm gonna get you a taste of tartar
I got
sauce.
that horseradish.
Ooh.
Opened up my sinuses.
Yeah. Let's see.
This might be my new favorite thing ever. So
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
off the
good.
hip. This is off the hip.
Girl, that's amazing.
Yes.
Where did you learn to cook?
My grandma inspired me. I used to help her make the breakfast biscuits when I was a little girl, and I would always make baby-sized biscuits. And she made homemade fig jam, homemade strawberry jam, pineapple upside-down cake all from scratch, a strawberry cake from scratch. One of my favorite things was her potato salad. Oh, I just love it. That's what inspired me. And then in my early 20s is where I started to, the journey to health and wellness, and that's when I started to learn everything I could on how to make healthy food delicious. And that's, hence we have Fa Rekin Licious. She's going out for champagne and oysters.
Oh, man. Alright guys, we're back, and my roommate and friend Dawn is joining us to taste our amazing fish sticks. So what we're going to do is I've got them already plated, and just start with the cocktail sauce, and yeah.
Here you go, Dawn.
This cocktail sauce is heavenly.
Cocktail sauce.
Not the tartar sauce is heavenly. The cocktail sauce is too.
Cocktail sauce, I've been making that for years.
Amazing.
Wow. That does taste, oh,
I
go ahead,
can't wait
Dawn.
to make this at home.
Yum.
So good.
Yeah.
It's Z.
I got you some over here.
Delicious.
Oh, heck yeah. Love it. Fa Rekin Licious, guys. Hey, this is my first trying the tartar sauce.
Girl.
Holy cow.
Fa Rekin Licious.
Yum. There you go. So maybe we could have left the fish sticks in just maybe a couple more minutes. They're not super crispy, but they still have a phenomenal flavor.
Using egg with the almond flour definitely makes them crispier. And then I cooked them for 15 minutes and then broiled them for 2. And they're absolutely incredible. Crunchy, or at least crunchier than not using egg.
And the fish is just perfectly flaky.
The
And
almond flavor, I love it.
awesome. We did a good job. Now, Kenya, tell them where where they can find you, how they can find you.
So my website is knlee.com, but I'm available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, iTunes, Kobo, and you can find my books on those digital online retailers as well as my website. I'm also on Facebook.
Yeah.
My Facebook, you can search me by K Nicole Lee, but Nicole is spelled with a Y, so it's KNYCOLELEE. And Twitter, Instagram,
The whole 9
all
yards.
over.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being
You're
my
welcome.
little helper today.
Thank you for
And
having
thank you
me.
for enjoying fish sticks before she goes and has champagne and oysters.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me and
You're so
including me.
welcome. Of course. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. You know, like always, if you like this video, share it with all your friends. You can find me on Facebook, Fa Rekin Licious. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Patreon. Spell it with the spaces, and I'll always show up. Thanks so much, guys. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Wow.